daughter, 2 years old, just stands up on the couch and she's like, "Run, BB-8, run!"
Has there ever been a Star Wars Mortal Kombat type?
You see those aliens from Mexico?
What? No, what?
Just wait till she shows up pregnant in her new movies, and everyone's like, "When did that happen?"
God. Force pregnant.
Just through kissing. Don't kiss without protection, kids. I feel the Force this week, man. I feel the Force.
You feel it?
I feel it. I don't know. Something about Ahsoka coming to an end, being so jacked on Star Wars. I've discovered so much stuff in the Star Wars universe that I feel like I've just got a whole galaxy ahead of me of just content and things that I got to look into, and I'm loving it. I feel I'm in a good place. I'm in a very good place with Star Wars right now.
That's good. I'm feeling that. It's there's a lot to go through.
There is. We got a jam-packed show this week, but I think most importantly, how was your week?
It's good. It's good. I got a lot going on. You know, Halloween's coming up. Real excited about that. I'm a big Halloween guy, as are you. I can see in the background there. You want to introduce me to your boy there?
Yeah. I used to call him Rufus.
Okay.
But, shout out to your parents. They what do they say? Jeeves.
Jeeves.
Way better name, and I'm very upset I did not come up with that. So that's Jeeves. You can ask him anything.
Yeah. My dad was referring to my son. He calls him Jeeves because when he was little, he always slept like this with his neck to the side like this.
Like from
Gobbles from South Park. So we always called him Gobbles. So now it kind of shortened to Jeeves. So now he just always calls him Jeeves.
That's funny.
So you heard Jeeves, like Ask Jeeves.
I did.
Which I think we referenced a couple shows ago. So it's, it's relevant. But hey, whatever works, man. Whatever works.
Yeah. It's Halloween's a great time of year. It's probably one of my favorite. Maybe it is my favorite holiday. I like Christmas, but I love Halloween more. And I posted a tweet after one of the Ahsoka episodes where we saw that like really dope Roman style looking stormtrooper, and I was like, any kid in my neighborhood walks up to my house dressed up as that stormtrooper with the gold mask and the white helmet,
Enoch
gets the entire bowl of candy.
Just there you go.
We're done.
Anybody watching, hey, if you know where my boy lives here,
yeah.
You
Please
still
don't come to my house. Please don't come to my house.
You can have like 5.
Yeah.
I'm running out of bowls.
Yeah. Here's my watch.
You still decorate quite a bit?
Yeah. The inside of our house is fully decorated. We haven't done the outside yet. Usually I wait till we get closer to like the actual night.
Okay.
But you celebrate big time outside.
I go ham, homie. Yeah, I'm more of like an outside decorator than inside. We don't decorate as much inside, which is kind of unfortunate. Like I feel like it's because it probably feels more like Halloween time to you right now because it's like you feel it on the inside. So that's
yeah.
Might have to start doing that. I might have to take a trip this weekend.
The old
even like the dollar
photos,
store.
the decrepit paintings.
That's good.
Bro, like, yeah, our house is creepy right now.
How's your daughter feel about all that?
Loves it. I got a video.
Really?
So we September 20, one of those days. Many years ago. No, one of the days, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, we put her to bed and then just transformed the entire house. And my daughter says Halloween. She's like, Halloween, and like absolutely loves the house. The only thing that scares her is this thing, and that's why he's in my office.
Got it.
But she's warming up to him. She knows that's daddy's, and like she's like warming up to him there. But dude, she loves Halloween.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we were going on a walk last night, seeing Halloween decorations, and she's fully in. Which this episode is going live in October, right? So 'tis the season. So spooky
That's what I'm
season.
saying, man. That's what I'm saying.
I do have an idea for you.
Okay.
So you've got the giant 12-foot skeletons.
I do. 2 of them. Well, I have one skeleton and one's like a pumpkin.
All right. 1 year. I need a lightsaber duel between the 2 of them.
Ooh.
Just...
Dude, what if I make... So the pumpkin one's a little more like... He looks more like wood, but what if I make him like Anakin and he's like burnt?
Ooh, and he's like charred.
Yeah.
I hate you. Yeah. Bro, that reminds me. So last week, we were talking about Leonardo DiCaprio possibly playing Anakin.
Right.
No clue. That was actually originally a plan. They wanted Leo to play Anakin. Like,
no.
Yeah. So somebody deepfaked Leo into the Star Wars movies. And let me say, The dude makes a great Anakin. Fits the role, man. I'm like, I could see it. But
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from. I just feel like it's hard to wrap yourself into a universe when you recognize the person, and sometimes they're more recognizable as the person they are rather than the character. So
100%. And I'm on board there. It's just, man, when I saw the actual deepfake, I was like, this would have been sick.
Did he change his voice?
No, we'll get there one day.
So still the voice. Okay.
Yeah, we'll get there one day. But like, you can just see like, even like little Annie with the pod racing scenes, they took like Leo from when he was a kid and deepfaked him in there, and I was like, dude, this literally looks exactly like Anakin's. Like, it's such a, I know this is going to offend some Leo fans out there, but Leo's such a creepy individual to me that I'm like, it's one of those. I'm like, hey, kind of captures the creepiness of Anakin Skywalker a little bit.
He's got a good range of emotions. He could play a lot of different emotions. He could be a creepy guy. So
he's also a big fan of 23-year-olds, I hear. So
yeah, I think it's something like once they hit 25, he's out. Too much, too high.
Yeah.
Sorry, Leo.
But I spent this week with my daughter watching a bunch of Star Wars content.
Okay.
And she's obviously not old enough to watch like the trilogies or anything like that. And her favorite Star Wars character right now is BB-8. And so I went on YouTube and I was like, let me see if there's any BB-8 shows out there, or like maybe somebody just compiled all the BB-8 footage. And I discovered a show never heard of called Star Wars Rollout. Are you aware of this show?
No. Is it that one that they did that was almost like very, very, very animated, like cartoon style for little kids? Isn't it like Young Jedis or something like that?
So yeah, there's what I'm getting to is there's an entire universe of Star Wars content that is on YouTube that's canon, and I had no idea about, and it's like full on Star Wars extension shows that I've never knew existed, and I'm like diving into them with my daughter.
This is like the Legends of the Hidden Temple thing, right?
Yeah, so this is Star Wars Jedi Temple Challenge, and 100% Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Is it already like out?
Yeah, it's all on YouTube.
Oh, dude, what?
It's hosted by Kelleran Beck, who, if you remember, is the guy who saved
Jar Jar.
Grogu, and he's the actor that played Jar Jar.
Yeah.
So this is the Jedi Master that saves Grogu in Mandalorian.
Dang,
and he's the host of the show. So that was kind of fun to see. The next one is, I might have to zoom in there, Galaxy of Creatures. So best way to describe this is like a nature doc about creatures throughout the galaxy.
This is the most adorable Rancor I've ever seen in my life.
Today we are looking at the Rancor, and it just like goes into like the species, and really cool series there.
So that would be actually really great for my little sister. My dad watches stuff with her all the time, but she's terrified of the Rancor. They were watching Return of the Jedi, and completely fine, but when the Rancor came out, she was terrified. So maybe he can show her that, and maybe she'll be all on board with the Rancor again.
Yeah, there's that one, and there's also one coming up that's like perfect for that age. This one was really dope. It's hard to kind of see by this, but this is called Galaxy of Adventures, and they basically make an anime of each hero of like Obi-Wan, Anakin, Padme, and it captures all of their major moments in like an anime style 2-second or 2-minute video, and really dope concept there.
So you have a picture there of, what would you call that?
AT-AT.
So that's why I call it too, but apparently that's not what it's called.
Yeah, no. If you say at, stop listening to my podcast. Just kidding. We can all.
That made me so upset when I realized that's what it's actually called. I'm like, bro, it's AT-AT. I've said that my entire life, and it's wrong.
Yeah, AT-AT just has a more like military sound to it.
It does, and it doesn't make sense to me because I think it's like the two-legged one. There's like an ATDP, and then there's like an ATST.
Yeah.
They don't say ATST.
Yeah.
For an ATST, like it's ATST. So why would they not go AT-AT? You know what I mean?
And like think of it from like Vader, right? Like Vader's like, we're gonna take the AT-ATs, or is he gonna say, we're gonna take the AT-ATs? What?
Master Lord Vader, what shall we take?
We're taking the AT-AT.
What? I'm sorry, what was that?
I think we're taking the AT.
No end then. No end then.
Yeah. So
no, I'm with you.
Weird.
AT-AT.
So that's Galaxy Adventures. The next one is Star Wars Rollout.
Bro, that's adorable.
This is the show my daughter's obsessed with right now.
Those are like the Weebles.
Yeah. Every character is designed to look like BB-8. So there's a Chewie BB-8, there's a Rey BB-8, there's a Han Solo BB-8.
I didn't even get that.
They're literally designed to, and they all move the same way. Nobody talks. It's all beeps. They all roll.
Oh my gosh.
There's a scene where like BB-8 is being chased by this giant spider, and my daughter, 2 years old, just stands up on the couch and she's like, "Run, BB-8! Run!" And I was like, what is going on?
She's invested, dude.
Yeah. So Star Wars Rollout, really cool series. And what's neat is the episodes take place in like moments where we're like, oh, I never really thought of like what happened. So like when Rey and BB-8 go to the junkyard to turn in like their scraps or whatever, that episode takes place during that time period. So it like fills in spots through the show. The Chewie episode is when like Rey and Luke are talking and he's just like fishing off the cliff. So it's like it's canon and takes place during all that stuff. The other one is the Star Wars Galactic Pals. And best way to describe this is Star Wars daycare. And so each one of these are like a little baby species. There's like a little Gungan, there's a Rancor, there's an Ewok, there's a Wookiee, there's a Jabba, and they're all babies.
Cow.
Yeah.
You just opened up my whole universe even further. There's more Star Wars stuff that we haven't covered.
And what's really cute, in traditional Disney fashion, you can buy these baby figures at the store.
Genius.
So I bought my daughter a baby Ewok a while back, not knowing that there's a whole show surrounding.
You just saw it. You're like, oh, just a baby Ewok. Like, cute.
This is adorable. Yeah. And then the final one is a Star Wars lo-fi channel. So it's like Star Wars Relax, and it's basically lo-fi music, and it's got moving art like Grogu's snack time. And it's basically designed to just calm your kids down. And I was like, dude, how is this whole galaxy existed? And I'm like, didn't know about it. Like it's so nuts, man.
I'm checking all these out. I don't care if I'm a grown man. I am checking all of those out. They look cool.
Yeah, Star Wars kids.
There's some kid shows out there. I'm telling you, are dope. Bluey, freaking Octonauts, the freaking Creature Report.
Yeah,
sick. Some of the songs, man.
Yeah, I mean, even if you think about it, right? Clone Wars and Rebels, technically, kids shows.
That's true. And now here we are making live action. How dare you, sir? Okay.
Yeah. The story arc of Rebels and Clone Wars is actually superior to a kids show. And
oh, Anakin.
Nerd. It's a Star Wars show. Shut up, nerd.
Go take your adorable little Ewok. Get out of here.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh man. Well, transitioning from little kid entertainment stuff, there's actually something on the opposite end of the spectrum that we need to discuss that's Star Wars related. Okay.
All right.
So my parents, we kind of brought this up before, but they just recently the other night went and saw Empire Strips Back. Ooh. And it was like a burlesque Star Wars show, and they said that it was phenomenal. Both of course my dad was going to love it. I knew my dad was going to love it, but my mom loved it. And she knows Star Wars well enough to where she could like know what things were. Like they said that the show was just phenomenal. If it comes to town, you have to go see it. They were kind of telling me a little bit of stuff they didn't want to spoil too much because they're like, you have to go see this. The one thing they said that it was just a funny moment, they said, was they have the Emperor riding on a giant like ball, like a wrecking ball, like Miley Cyrus video. And he's on top of there doing his thing. So, but they just have a bunch of, R2-D2 throwing money at, stormtroopers dressed scant. Like, it's just sounds fantastic. If it comes to town, you got to check it out. I have to check it out now the next time it comes to town. Yeah, we're going to
have to, right? 100%. We'll have to make it into like a podcast thing where we both go. We'll sit 2 feet apart.
Yeah, it looks freaking hilarious, and so apparently they loved it. So
that's cool. Yeah,
you've been wondering if it's any good. Apparently, go check it out. It's good. So
yeah, I would 100% go see that show, man. It looks so cool.
Yeah, it looks awesome. I'd totally be down to see it. But Mortal Kombat came out this week too. Mortal Kombat 1, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of went back to basics.
I'm so confused by that. Like, I thought the X represented 10, and then it's like, then they just called it just Mortal Kombat, and then XL or I have no idea what's going on anymore with the namings. But now it's just Mortal Kombat 1. So I'm like, okay, what's going on?
These days, I've just given up, man. I'm like, okay, that's where we're going. All right.
It got me thinking, like, has there ever been a Star Wars Mortal Kombat type game? Because obviously they like to bring characters from other movies and stuff into Mortal Kombat. I don't think they could do that with Star Wars characters because of Disney, but why has nobody done that? I would totally play the heck out of that.
Was Vader in Mortal Kombat? Or was he in Tekken?
I don't think so. I have no idea, man. I'm just saying, I'd play it. I know we have like Battlefront and stuff, but give me like a fighter game. Stormtrooper fighting a stormtrooper or fist fighting.
So I had to look it up. So I don't know which Mortal Kombat it was, but Darth Vader was a
really
DLC character.
What?
But which one? Which
I would love to see like a fatality.
Soul Calibur. That's what it was. It was Soul Calibur.
Oh,
so it wasn't Mortal Kombat. It was kind of a little more tamed, but yeah, I mean, it would be dope, right? Like seeing like force choking and like just destroying. Like I know back in the day, there was a game, and I'm gonna butcher the hell out of the title, but it was Star Wars Masters of Terra's Kasi. And it was PlayStation 1, like original PlayStation. And that was like a fighting game. But since then, I genuinely don't know if they have had one. But with the way the universe is growing, I feel like it's time, right? And I feel like you could do a family, and I hate using the word family friendly, but like a Smash Brothers style. Where
with
it's
those
like,
adorable characters.
Yeah.
Got a
like
Rancor.
Well, like, obviously you can't have, like, Ahsoka beheading Darth Vader, right? Like, that's just not where Disney's at these days.
Give it to me. I want that.
Yeah, I just don't think that that's going to happen. But, like, I think a fighting game is 100% within the realm of reality there, you know?
Maybe it's just too much not what Star Wars is about, I guess?
No, I think...
Type of style?
Like, I think Ahsoka versus Grievous would be cool. Like, what we do on our 1v1s, right? Like, that would be perfect of just creating a game where you could have those what-if moments. And, again, I just don't think you'd have the blood and the decapitations and ripping spines out of people's back like you do with Mortal Kombat, but it would be dope.
That's what I want.
Yeah, just force grab a spine and just...
That's what I'm saying, dude. Could you imagine? Like, get over here from Darth
Yeah, that'd be dope, man.
But C-3PO fighting.
Yeah, C-3PO versus Vader, like
just
over. And C-3PO is just like punching, like
it was the whole time like a Rock'em Sock'em robot.
You know,
or real
Yoda
steel
in there, man. That'd be sick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I would love to see it. It might not be possible. It may not be something we ever fully get, but I just think it'd be cool.
Have they made any mobile games like that? Like, remember that Marvel
Contest of Champions?
Yeah, whatever, that one we spent so much money on. Yeah. That would be a cool one for Star Wars.
It would be. I know they have one called Star Wars. Oh gosh, is it like Galaxy of Heroes or something like that?
Sounds familiar.
It's like an RPG style. It's more like turn-based. Like, my character, you pick what attack he's doing, and then he goes and fights. It's like a 5v5 type scenario.
Okay.
They have that, and that's pretty cool because you could build the team of like random characters. You could have like Mandalorian and Yoda and like Vader all on the same team. Like, it's crazy. Or maybe it's only, I think they do a light side and dark side, but that's a fun game. It's pretty cool. It's very time consuming, but that one's a pretty fun one.
Yeah, I think also like if they did a Star Wars game where it was like just Jedis and Sith, right? And like you could have like the lightsaber duel, but then they captured like the mechanics of For Honor, where you had the different fighting styles and stances that like basically just rock, paper, scissors, right? Like when you're in this stance, you can block these attacks, and when you're in this stance, you can block these attacks, and you almost have to guess what your opponent's doing. That would be cool from like a lightsaber fighting perspective of like, oh, I'm going to do an upper hand swing, but you have to be in a certain guard to block it. Like,
well, I think they already kind of do that. I think they already kind of do that with Battlefront right now. Battlefront
Really?
2. Yeah. Those 1v1 fights, if you ever look them up on YouTube, they're real serious. Like,
Okay.
you really can block certain like attacks by parrying a certain way or things like that. It's pretty cool.
I'll have to look that up. Yeah,
Because when I play,
100%
I
would be
just go in
sick.
swinging. And I'm like, I don't understand how I didn't kill that guy.
Yeah, just button mashing. That's all I do, man. Just all day.
Speaking of 1v1s, man, you want to get into that?
Well, let's do it. I enjoy these, man.
I have a little bit different way of doing it this week.
All right.
I have a wheel here of Star Wars 1v1s. Okay.
Ooh, all right.
So I'm not choosing these 1v1s, even though I kind of did that before to try to like make them a little bit, fair. You didn't like my Sabine versus Rey, so
that was the only one that I've grabbed. Only one out of all the ones we've had.
We're gonna do the wheel, no matter what comes up. This is what we're doing, okay?
All right.
How many we do? They might be super easy, so we'll do 3. Let's do 3. All right, here we go.
What do if the first one it gives you is Rey versus Sabine?
That's what the wheel says. All right, first one here says a Jedi Temple Guard.
Okay.
I mean, I guess they didn't really do a good job. Hopefully it's not against Anakin. A Jedi Temple Guard. Jedi Temple Guard versus...
Is it Anakin?
Oh. It's versus the entire Cantina band. They'll come at them with their little instruments.
Yeah, that has to go Temple Guard, bro. Right?
I don't know, man. You really think so?
Temple Guards have lightsabers.
I'm going Temple Guard. Just thought it was funny.
Yeah. I'm going through the band right now in the cantina.
Trying to
Maybe
think
the
which one of them.
dude. No, the elephant dude was at Jabba, right? The blue elephant playing the keyboard.
Yeah.
That wasn't the cantina.
The cantina band's more like the alien head dudes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say Jedi Temple Guard.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm just imagining a scenario. Why would those two fight each other? Like, they just get upset because they didn't get paid enough or something, and they just started losing their minds.
Yeah, the band was like performing at the Jedi Temple.
And the guards like, calm down. No, you calm down. Where's my money? Where are my credits?
Yeah. Anakin's like, I need you to get these guys out of here. Like,
I don't have time to deal with this. Oh, Anakin.
Oh, Anakin.
All right.
You hired the wrong band.
Next 1v1. Ooh. It just skipped Anakin. It was about to land on him. We have Dark Rey.
Oh.
Dark Rey.
Yeah.
And she was like looking like a whole badass. Which I would love to see that, by the way. Damn it.
Is it Sabine?
Okay. No, it just passed Kylo Ren.
Okay.
Dark Rey versus... I actually want to do that when it said. It landed on BB9E.
Oh, okay.
I'm assuming it's a droid. I'm going to assume Dark Rey's going to win, so let's go the step back. Dark Rey versus Kylo Ren.
What do you got?
I'm going Rey. Dark Rey, dude? This is almost like one of those like the Pokemon cards, like Dark Gyarados.
Yeah, Dark Charizard. Yeah.
Team Rocket Gyarados.
Yeah, I mean, Rey is the logical choice, right? Like,
I think so.
I think she's more powerful than Kylo to begin with, but like if you figure like her unleashed on the dark side,
right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Rey. I'm gonna go definitely
Dark Rey, dude.
Dark
Rey, when I saw that, I was like really, because I think I saw, was it ruined in like a trailer?
Yeah, it was. And
I was hoping, I was like, man, if they make her bad, that'd be sick.
Yeah. That's a what if episode, man. What if Rey turned to the dark side? 100%.
Absolutely.
You know, I saw someone critique the I guess they're called the Sequel Trilogy. And they actually had a critique that I agreed with. I was like, oh, that's actually a solid gripe, because a lot of times it's just like you're nitpicking stuff, and I'm just like, come on, dude. But like what this gripe was it's the Skywalker saga, right? And the entire universe is based about Skywalkers. In theory, Kylo is the Skywalker because he's Leia's son. So he's got Darth Vader, his grandfather's blood in him.
Okay.
The movie ended with a Palpatine beating a Skywalker. And I was like, oh, that's a solid gripe. You're pretty much saying, like, the Skywalkers meant nothing.
It ended with a Palpatine kissing a Skywalker, I think is what you meant to say.
Yeah, but a Palpatine saved the day. So, like, the Skywalkers
Against
meant
Palpatine.
nothing. Yeah.
Palpatine defeated Palpatine.
Yeah, so you're basically making Palpatine the center of the universe versus, like... And I was like, okay, that's kind of a solid gripe. But again, still like those movies.
I'm going to gripe about them kissing each other.
Oh, yeah?
That's my gripe.
Just wait till she shows up pregnant in her new movies and everyone's like, when did that happen?
God. Force pregnant.
Just through kissing.
All right, on to the next one.
Don't kiss without protection, kids.
Don't you dare. Okay, we have Uncle Owen.
This is promising.
Uncle Owen versus
Aunt Beru.
Oh God. It says none of these options nowhere near this wheel were good for Uncle Owen. Let's just say that, okay? I'm gonna start with where it probably would have been okay, and I'm just gonna give you the list that it landed on. Okay.
Okay.
We could have had Sith Anakin,
Okay.
Star Killer,
Okay.
Darth Vader,
Okay.
Darth Sidious,
Okay.
Qui-Gon,
Okay.
Darth Maul,
Okay.
Asajj Ventress,
Ooh.
Count Dooku,
Ooh.
but it landed on Plo Koon.
Oh.
It could have been past that and landed on Ahsoka Tano,
Ooh.
Grogu, Kit Fisto, Rey. Like nowhere on this side of the wheel was a good thing for Uncle Owen. Okay?
Yeah. So Plo Koon at his prime.
Plo Koon.
And
Plo
Uncle
Koon.
Ben at his prime.
Uncle Owen.
Sorry, Uncle Owen at his prime. Oh man, it has to be Plo, right?
Did you really just say Uncle Owen at his prime? Like that changes things.
You got to assume that's when we saw him in Kenobi, right?
Yeah.
He took on what's her face and
Reva.
lost. Yeah, Reva. Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna go
Plo. It's gonna go Plo.
Plo Koon.
Again, I'm trying to imagine a scenario where this fight went down. Like,
right?
All right, here's a pitch. Plo Koon is a time traveler, and he goes back in time to kill him in order to prevent Anakin from turning to the dark side.
Ooh.
Boom. There's the pitch.
Uncle Owen's there trying to stop him. Trying to. Mm-hmm. Keyword.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, those sand people are really pieces of work, huh, Anakin? You should go kill them all. Even the women. And the children,
and the children, too.
And Anakin went off, and Plo was trying to stop it.
Well, there we have it for our 1v1s, okay? Not as exciting this week, but you know what? I do like the idea of the Dark Rey versus Kylo.
Yeah, that would be one that I'd pay to see. What if? Make it happen.
Do a what if, but swap them. Kylo when he does not turn evil, so he stays as Ben Solo, versus Dark Rey.
So that's actually a really good segue, and I don't know if you planned that, because I was reading about the original plans for like the sequel trilogy and like what George Lucas had in mind versus like what we got. Okay. And essentially the idea was that like Anakin's grandkids and Leia are trying to like rebuild the Republic. And, they're going through all the political sides of that. And then on the opposite side, you got Luke, who's trying to rebuild the Jedi Order. So it's like a reconstruction series. And then because of the Empire falling, there's a massive power vacuum, and crime syndicates like the Hutts and all these other organizations basically take the spot of the Empire and start to take over the galaxy, and it's just ridden with crime. And then eventually they all unite under the flag of Darth Maul. Like Darth Maul becomes the ultimate crime boss. And so Leia, Anakin's grandkids, Luke, and the new Jedi Order have to fight against Darth Maul, eventually leading to Leia defeating him and basically becoming the new Supreme Chancellor. And so that was what George Lucas's pitch was to Disney, and Disney was like, "No, we're not going to pursue that." I'm curious, where do you fall? Do you think that concept would have been better than what we got?
Oh man, I mean, tying back to what you said, where essentially those 9 movies were supposed to be about the Skywalker saga. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess that would have been pretty cool. Like I said, my biggest gripe, I think, with the sequel trilogy is I feel like they did Luke dirty.
Yeah.
And I feel like they're trying to make up for it with, what they did in like Mandalorian, showing him, training Grogu and things like that. But I wanted to see more Luke of being the awesome guy we all thought he was when we were younger. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And so, like I said, for me in this sequel trilogy, it was kind of rough because, we all loved Han Solo. Died. We all love Leia and Luke.
Died.
Dead. Which I understand. Like there's got to be an ending to those characters somehow, and I feel like they did it. I don't want to say the best they could, but it's God, man, I could talk about this forever.
Yeah, I remember there was a part like echoing what you're saying, where like, okay, they killed Han, they killed Luke, and I went into that final movie, and I was like, Leia's the actress who played her. She passed away, Carrie Fisher. So obviously she's not going to survive the movie. And I was like, but if they kill Chewie, my God, will I just lose my shit? And then they have that scene where like Rey blew up the ship. And I was like, I looked at my wife, and I was just like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. I think I watched that with my dad, and I'm pretty sure when that happened, he was like, "Oh no!" He was like, "No," like because I think he was very much the same. He was like, "They just keep killing off the characters that I loved when I was a kid." Yeah. And I think when that happened, I think I remember him. I can't remember if I think I watched it with him and my mom, and I'm pretty sure that when that scene happened, I just heard him go, "Oh no!"
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not Chewie.
Yeah. And I've been seeing like a really interesting conversation, and I'm so fascinated by like seeing these sequel trilogy evolve over time, because we talk about it all the time on this show that the prequels for us are great, but there was a whole generation of people who are like, the prequels sucked. But when you look at the prequels, there was a lot of blank spaces throughout that series, and then we got Clone Wars, and then we got Kenobi, and we got all these other things that kind of filled it in. We're starting to see that a little bit with like the sequel trilogy, where we're getting things like Ahsoka series. Like the Ahsoka series is bridging between the two, and I'm fascinated by the idea of like, are we going to get to a point where there's going to be so much filling in that like the gripes we have about the original movies, because of what Dave Filoni is doing with the Filoni-Verse, in 5 years from now, are we still going to have those complaints? Or are they going to justify it?
I think the only way that it will essentially repeat the cycle is if they come out with 3 new movies.
Ooh.
And then everybody complains about those and thinks, oh, okay, maybe 7, 8, 9 weren't so bad. Because I feel like that's what happened. People didn't. I feel like people didn't really look, even though they had the Clone Wars series and everything. I feel like people really didn't even, I want to say, appreciate the prequels until 7, 8, and 9 came out, and then people were like, okay, maybe 1, 2, and 3 weren't so bad.
Yeah,
I already loved 1, 2, and 3 growing up, but again, it was for my reasons. That's when I was a kid, and that's when I was seeing Star Wars evolve and seeing more exciting aspects of Star Wars, like lightsaber fights and things like that. That's what changed for me. And so as a kid, I was like, you can't tell me these lightsaber fights are not cooler. Like, holy cow.
Yeah.
And so with 7, 8, and 9, it's just one of those things where it's like, I feel like I do need to go back and watch them again, because I mean, I talk about this in the Ahsoka series. I always try to guess what's going to happen, which sometimes is a hindrance for me when I'm watching movies and stuff, because then when it doesn't happen in my head, I'm like, I had a better ending. Like, come on now.
Yeah.
But then sometimes what happens is a better ending.
So let me ask you this, and this is something we've kind of talked about off channel, but like, if the sequel trilogy, originally we didn't get this George Lucas idea, right? They just said, okay, we're not doing that, and then they decided to give us Mando, Ahsoka, and then whatever is going to be following Ahsoka as our new trilogy. That would have been sick. Like, that I would have signed up for. Is like immediately taking place right after Return of the
Jedi. Okay.
Like, what if the Filoni-Verse was the trilogy we were supposed to get initially?
Interesting. Because you're making me argue with myself right now. Because when you were asking about like the 7, 8, 9, in my head, I was like, I like that they tried to bring in new characters. And so like Mando is obviously a new character, which was incredible. And I think they did such a great job with it. And like Moff Gideon, new bad guy. But then with like the Ahsoka series, it's like you're bringing back old bad guys. But I still love it. I feel like they're doing a great job of it. So Ooh, I think it would have done well, but I still think there would be that we want to see. Because let me tell you, when the Force Awakens trailer first dropped, the excitement I felt as a Star Wars fan seeing the Millennium Falcon flying again, and again the idea of I get to see this with today's technology was just so exciting to me. I get to see X-Wings again. Like it was just, I'm still getting chills right now thinking about it, because that's what I was so excited for, was to see Star Wars from old being brought to the new light. Like you said, you want to see the prequels redone. That's what that was for me with these 7, 8, and 9. So I think it would have done great, but I think there still would have been people like me that are like, give me the old, but as the new.
Let's relive this for a second.
I'm telling you, man, just this trailer did such a great job of getting me so hyped for it.
Are you able to hear the audio?
There's
no. Okay.
I hear it. I hear it.
Oh, you do. Okay.
Yeah, it says there's been an awakening.
Have you felt it?
Who's this stormtrooper?
Like, you know that noise? Like,
oh yeah. Who's this droid? What?
You're like, what's this thing?
Oh, this scene right here, man. Who's this chick? She's a Palpatine?
Like, who's this person? That right there. Seeing X-Wings, man. Oof.
The dogs.
Even this scene was cool.
And the light.
Like, oh
Hell yeah,
my
man.
God. Oh, man, dude. The goosebumps that I have right now.
Oh, 2015, man.
That trailer was so well done.
2015.
It's crazy.
Can you believe we're almost 10 years from that movie?
That's crazy. But just the excitement I felt, the excitement to like, Dad! Felt like such a little kid. Like, have you seen the Star Wars trailer? And he was like, what? Like, he got excited too. And like, it was everything that you were like wanting as an original Star Wars fan. Seeing the Millennium Falcon, seeing X-Wings, like seeing a lightsaber, and then all of a sudden it's got a hilt, or what are those called? Crossguard?
Yeah.
And then that debate started even before the movie came out. How is that even possible? What? Why has nobody done that before? Like, it was just that one trailer just sparked so much questions, and it was just such a cool, like, seeing the freaking stormtroopers, like, or First Order troopers. But
yeah, dude,
oh man, that's such a great trailer.
Yeah, I wonder if it would be like if we just watched the trailers of the sequel trilogy, if we'd be like, this is good.
This is great. It's all I wanted was some trailers.
Yeah, so going into like talking about Star Wars, like the other side of this is there's so much Star Wars ahead of us.
Yeah.
I'm sure you saw the news. The writer's strike is finally over, so hopefully we can start seeing content going. The downside is the actors are still striking, and now video game voice actors are talking about striking. So like, we could continue this for a little bit of like not having new Star Wars content, but the folks over at starwarsnewsnet.com put together a list of like all the content we have ahead of us, and I didn't realize how big this was. So Andor season 2, according to the site, they say they got about 4 to 6 weeks left of filming, and then they're done. So like that show's pretty much in the can. Like once the strikes are over, they're good. Mando season 4. The scripts are written, and they were hoping to film it in October, but it's probably going to be early 2024 at the best. So we're probably looking at 2025 till we get that. Oof. And then Star Wars Acolyte is completed, which I don't know what that is, but that's Q3 of 2024.
What is an Acolyte?
I have no idea.
Let me look it up real quick here.
No idea what Star Wars Acolyte is.
Acolyte definition. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
A person assisting the celebrant in a religious service or procession.
Okay.
Somebody that performs ceremonial duties. Star Wars acolyte. Interesting.
Yeah, I know they're working on a bunch of like High Republic content, but
Okay.
no idea. Star Wars Acolyte will be a mystery thriller that will take viewers into the galaxy of shadowy secrets emerging the dark side powers in the final days of the High Republic. So it is a High Republic show. Okay. So
Look at
way
you.
before anything we got.
Got it.
Like
a Game of Thrones Star Wars. I
Yep.
challenge you to a duel.
Yep. Which is a bunch of White Walkers, man. It's gonna be filmed super dark, and we're all gonna complain about it. We also have Skeleton Crew, which we've talked about a bunch on this show. Bad Batch Season 3, didn't know about this. It has wrapped recording, and now they're just editing it and animating it and putting it together. So that's on the lines.
Dang.
Tales of the Jedi Season 2 has been announced, but it hasn't started. You got the new Jedi Order film trilogy with Daisy Ridley. So Daisy Ridley is getting 3 more movies. You got the Lando movie. Taika Waititi, the guy who, of course, has done great work for Thor, has a Star Wars movie coming up. Dave Filoni has a Star Wars movie. James Mangold, Sean Levy, all of these folks have Star Wars movies as well. Which Sean Levy, again, I'm going to have to Google here. Is that the guy from Schitt's Creek? No.
Oh, no.
No.
That's
not.
I think Levy's his last name. What's his name? That's gonna bother me now.
So Sean Levy is known for Stranger Things.
What is he in Stranger Things?
He produced it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The guy from Schitt's Creek, his name is Eugene Levy.
Eugene Levy. That's what it was.
Jim, did you really need to put your penis in the pipe? Yeah.
So, do we get any confirmation on Skeleton Crew on like what exactly it is?
Nope.
God, I'm telling you, man, if they got to do some sort of kid thing, that'd be so cool. Or a horror thing. I mean, you said mystery thriller for Acolyte, but I would be down to see a horror movie. Actually, this is nothing Star Wars related whatsoever. Maybe it is. Aliens. Okay, we'll go alien route. There's a movie that I think is on Hulu that just released like 4 days ago called No One Will Save You. And bro, you got to check out the trailer. Like, it is such an interesting trailer. And it's talking about home invasions. And that's how it starts. Just somebody inside their house. And it's like there are 1.65 million home invasions a year or something like that. So it kind of gets you like thinking, oh gosh, this is like a robbery movie. And then it says something like, but this one's different. And it's like an alien like trying to break in to abduct somebody. And the girl's like hiding. And what's crazy about it, there's just no dialogue throughout the entire trailer. And I thought was interesting was it's going straight to like a streaming service. And I was like, why is this not in theaters? Like, this looks like it would be great in theaters. But then I was like, it's a home invasion movie. So of course they want people to watch it at home and get freaked out. I'm like, that's genius. But it looks so good because it was like a horror alien movie. And I'm like, I don't know if we've seen like a horror. I mean, maybe there have been, but
I mean, Alien.
Yeah, I guess that could be classified. But it almost was more like a. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
I mean, definitely. I'm gonna check it out because it sounds like one of my biggest fears is what you're talking about. This movie being about not aliens, but the other side. Like, biggest fear I have, man. So it's like now you throw aliens on top of that, and I'm just like,
but I mean, so you think that's what Star Wars are?
Yeah,
bunch of aliens.
Do you see those aliens from Mexico?
What? No. What? What?
So
what?
The Mexican Congress held this like UFO thing, right?
Okay.
And they basically were like, we want to know everything about aliens. And then someone came forward from Mexico and was like, I have aliens. Like, I have bodies that we've discovered in some ancient temple. Sorry, I'm pulling up this image. And so like they discovered these aliens in some ancient area where essentially like the idea here is that why won't it let me open it up? Oh, here we go. They discovered these at some archaeological dig, and these are the aliens that they pulled out. Okay, and at first I'm like, no, these look fake. But then they did MRI scans on them, and inside is full skeletal structures to like justify the size of the bodies.
I was really hoping to see like a Jar Jar Binks. Like, could you imagine if like aliens actually come to Earth
Yeah.
and like they're like Jar Jar?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Misa want to welcome you to space. Like, just like, what is? Oh
Yeah.
my gosh!
Oh yeah. Like just nuts.
Interesting.
Like here's the MRI, like right here, right? Like that's the MRI they had, like full skeletal
Ah.
structures, and I thought it was funny. NASA responded to this. They're like, send them up here, we'll take a look at them. And I was like, hey NASA, I'm sure you already got stuff like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mexican scientists say that one of the aliens is alive and in gestation. That can't be true. Oh, it comes from India Times. Never mind. Reliable source right there.
Never mind.
One of the funniest jokes I saw about that was like a tweet that somebody wrote, and it was like basically like they retweeted the article saying Mexican officials unveil aliens, and like it just said, "You're telling me Mexico's got an illegal alien problem?" And I was just like, "Dear God."
Oh man.
So yeah, aliens are real, man. That's what they look like. But yeah, I mean, I hold out hope. I hold out hope that there are aliens out there, man.
Like, what if everything just changes? Let's say like 10 years down the road, somehow humans just super advance, like this whole AI thing just takes off, and we suddenly are living like a Star Wars life, and like we're doing a podcast 10 years from now, flying in outer space, planet to planet, and we're just like, bro, you remember back in the day we were just stuck on Earth, had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
If you could take one thing from Star Wars, transport it into today's reality, what would it be? That's a tough one.
ooh, one thing from Star Wars and transport it to today's reality. That's tough, man. See, I'm gonna say something stupid, and you're gonna come at me with some genius. This is just like the whole like, what body part would you replace thing?
Fingers.
Because
Okay,
I
I'll
want
go
to say, I
I'll go
want to.
first,
Okay,
just
you go
to
first.
prep it. Mine
Okay.
would 100%. Immediately I thought like light speed, right? Like that'd be dope if we could just transport light speed in. But selfishly, it's a lightsaber, 100%. Yeah, I want to be the only person in the world with a lightsaber.
I was gonna say, do you think you would have access to that?
Mm-hmm.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah. The theory is that I could go into Star Wars, pull anything
Okay,
out,
I
and
see
now
what
it's
you're
mine.
saying.
I'm gonna grab a
Got it.
lightsaber.
In that case, I'm just gonna grab Grogu.
Yeah.
I'll never get to scrape my knee. Hey, buddy, can you help me out here?
Yeah. You grab Grogu and you just immediately like a stage mom. You're just traveling around the country, putting them on shows, taking them on tour.
Powdering his nose.
Yeah.
Come here, little guy. You gotta look beautiful.
Yeah.
No, I wanted to say pod racing.
Oh, that would be dope.
I think pod racing just looks so cool, and like I loved that so much when I was a kid, and I was so bummed that was the only time they really saw it, because I was like, what a cool concept. Like, it's much like horse racing or any sort of racing, car racing, NASCAR, the Indy, like racing. It's just something that people like to watch. Like pod racing, that just sounds so freaking sick. Like,
yeah,
I would love to see that.
I would too, man. You ever been to a NASCAR event?
I have not.
I haven't either.
I have not. I heard it's
I
loud.
wonder if we're just like missing out on like
They're turning left. Turning left again.
Yep.
Oh, left
Yeah.
again.
I do think it's interesting though, because like to your point, 10 years from now, where are we going to be? And like I even read, there's some conspiracy theories out there, like where the idea that we had like a whole period of time where we got movies like Star Wars, you had all the old school TV shows with like astronauts in space and aliens, you had Star Trek, and then we also had like Space Odyssey come out all around the same time. And like the idea was that like, or the conspiracy theory idea that's out there is that the government knew aliens existed, but they didn't want to tell the public because they knew we couldn't handle it and it would cause like mass chaos. So in order to prep us and to get us comfortable with the idea, they created these movies or they funded these movies to happen so that like now 2023 here we are. If I'm like, dude, if an alien shows up, I'm like, Star Wars, let's go. Let's freaking go, man. Whose Death Star are we blowing up this week?
If you're watching that movie I recommended, I want to watch it. I want to watch it with my daughter. But I mean, that one will freak you out, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
If aliens are like that or like signs.
Ooh, that one was creepy.
Why though?
Just,
have you watched it recently?
No, I'm good.
I have. I watched it with my daughter because I was like, let's watch this. And she's like, okay. Because I'm trying to like...
up?
It does. It's still a good movie, but obviously I watched that movie so much when I was younger, and I'm like, why was I scared of this when I was younger? But what's weird is like it freaked my daughter out. It's almost like it's one of those like when you first see it, it freaks you the heck out. Mm-hmm. But then once you see it a few times, you're like, okay, whatever. It was like, it was definitely one of those things where in my head I was like, why was I scared of this when I was younger? But she was like terrified. Like, she just want to go to bed. Like, she was like, oh my God, this spot was so scary. And I was like, yeah. Because I'm trying to get her, she wants to get into more like horror movies. And so I'm trying to like warm her up by like showing her like monster movies and alien movies first before we go to like straight horror. So that's the plan.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen that movie after I saw it in theaters.
Really?
I don't think I ever watched it again because I was so terrified by it.
What? You got to check it out again. It's still good. It's still a good movie.
My wife makes fun of me all the time because I drink water before I go to bed, and my nightstand is just filled with water cups. And she's like, "What are you thinking? There's gonna be an alien?" Like, and I go, "If there is, you're gonna thank me.
Aren't you gonna feel silly after I save us with this water?"
Maybe that's why I do it. Maybe subconsciously, like because of that movie, I'm like, no, I need to have cups of water everywhere.
Isn't it interesting that it's always water?
Mm-hmm.
They say a lot like the reason like aliens come here is because of our water. Every time we're looking for life on planets, it's water. Mm-hmm. Signs, it was water. War of the Worlds, it was water that saved us because of the microorganisms that are in it. Like, it's always water.
Yeah. H2O.
H2O. Halloween, H2O.
That's another good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, dude, I'm all in on like Halloween, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger.
I haven't seen the new ones because I want to go back and watch the older ones.
No, don't and, like,
watch them in order.
Waste your time. Just
I heard the new ones are so good.
Dude, you can like literally. There's so many Halloweens I haven't seen that like I'm at a point where like the new ones, I'm like, dude, they're so great. Like Jamie Lee Curtis being back, I'm like, dude, they're fantastic. And now they're doing another one with her coming out later this year.
And I didn't watch the new Scream movies.
Those ones are bad.
Even the new ones are bad?
Mm-hmm.
I like the new
It. Those were good.
The new Pennywise and stuff. Those are great.
Scream, nothing was as good as the first Scream. Because like you just started to understand the formula, right? Like you're like, oh, I know who it is. And it's the same thing with the new ones. You're just like, oh, I can predict who the killers are. Whereas with the first one, you were like, I had no idea. I was about to spoil that movie, but the other thing I wrote down, and I'm curious because like we talked about like what you would bring from the Star Wars universe into this one, but if you could put anything into the Star Wars universe, like any crossover, any character, any ship, any person, what would it be?
Like a crossover universe type thing.
And it doesn't have to be like a main character. It could be like something in the background because that's what mine is. Mine is like a background. It's an Easter egg,
What's yours?
Okay. My daughter's really into Toy Story right now.
Okay.
And obviously you got Buzz Lightyear with Star Command.
Okay.
I would love there just to be a cantina scene where like the characters are walking past and in the background Buzz Lightyear's standing there, but he's got like a leather jacket on and it says Star Command on the back of it. And it's just like they don't confirm that's Buzz Lightyear, but you're just like, dude, that's Buzz Lightyear.
That'd be
like,
sick.
Yeah, like Star Command exists in the Star Wars universe. Like that would be cool. Like, okay,
See, I'm torn now.
Okay.
I either want, and again, this is us being Disney nerds, I guess. Stitch. I love Stitch. I freaking love Stitch so much. and I'm just imagining like him just wreaking havoc somewhere and having like bounty hunters having to go after him.
Yeah.
Or get this, what if we're seeing bounty hunters, but it's like Rocket and Groot?
Oh.
Because they were bounty hunters. So you see like Boba Fett and like Bosk and IG-11 droid or something, then you just see like Rocket and Groot, and Rocket's just sitting there with this, like, that'd be so sick.
Vader's like hiring people to like hunt down Han Solo, and it's like Rocket and Groot are there. That'd be awesome.
That'd be so sick.
Yeah, see, like I feel like you could do small stuff like that where it's like, you know,
especially
even if it's
with
like,
Disney.
Yeah, even if it was like again going to a cantina, right? And they're going through a cantina, and then in the background you just see Rocket and Groot standing in the background. It's like, okay, like all right, whatever. Like that wouldn't kill the series, but I know there are some people out there that'd be like, absolutely not. Like, but I'm okay with it.
You would have to say absolutely not, because then it would be like, you know, in this galaxy of Star Wars, they don't mention Earth. They don't mention, you know, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're starting to branch out with Ahsoka now into different galaxies. Why can't they go to like a galaxy that has Earth?
I did read somewhere though that Earth is canon in Star Wars.
Really?
Yeah, there was something about Earth. I'd be lying if I said like what I remember it was, but I do know Earth is canon. But
interesting.
Yeah. You know, something I did see, I didn't even write this down, so it's super off tangent. Rex, you know, he's kind of throughout the entire series.
Like
He's obviously
Captain Rex?
Captain Rex. He's in Clone Wars, he's in the prequels, he's also in Rebels, and you know, he kind of is a major part of the rebellion throughout the Star Wars series. There's a massive fan theory that at the Battle of Endor, you remember the dude with the white beard? Like the old guy that's fighting along with the rebels to take over like the Endor moon base. If not, I can totally pull up a photo
from like Return of the Jedi. Probably. It's been a little while since I've seen it, but probably.
Old Man Rex, Return of the Jedi. All right, so obviously this is kind of causing some issues. Like people are going to disagree with this, but so this guy right here, Nick Sant. Okay, that's what they call him. But there's a massive fan theory that this is actually Rex from Clone Wars, and that he made it all the way through the rebellion, because this is pretty much what he looks like in Rebels in the series. And apparently there's a comic book, and I'll try to see if I can find an image of it, but like there's the comparison between Rex and this dude right here from Rebels to that series.
Snap.
And then I guess in one of the comics, Nick Sant is in the comic, and he's wearing clone armor, kind of like what you see here. So like this is how he looks in the in the comic book, is he's got clone, you know, shields. And then the other thing that they said was that Nick Sant is the rebel who's wearing stormtrooper gear during the scene, and they're like, that would make sense if that was Rex, because you know at the end of the day he also, you know, wore stormtrooper gear because he was a clone. So it's just interesting. Like here he is right here, getting caught as a stormtrooper. So it's like, oh man, I love that, but you're obviously like changing canon massively to say that that's Rex. But I'm also at a point where I'm like, I'm okay with that. Like, make this Rex.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny that like people could go down those roads and have almost like evidence to back it up with like certain things? Like it's just so crazy.
Well, and I guess that segues perfectly into like our final announcement is like obviously TanoCast is coming to an end this week. We're filming our last episode tomorrow when episode 8 comes out, so pour one out for that one. We've been talking about what's coming next, and you know, when we first started this Scruffy Nerf Herder podcast, we laid out the roadmap, our phases, and we both agreed we got to go to Clonecast. You know, I think you've mentioned Ahsoka has made you want to go back and get into Clone Wars, and
it has, absolutely. I've just loved the show so much, and I feel like I'm missing out on some of the importance of scenes and some of like the emotional ties to scenes because I haven't seen it. So
yeah. So we'll be jumping into season 2 of Clonecast. So obviously that'll be picking up following you know, TanoCast. But in between there, we've got a week where we're going to be taking a break, but there will still be a Clonecast episode coming out, and it's what I call the Lost episode. And so for anyone who's listened to season 1, you'll remember it was myself, Robby, and our friend Brendan who were the original Scruffy Nerf Herders. And we recorded, and
he's not dead.
No,
he's not dead.
Not dead.
He's just not around anymore.
Yeah. He just hates us.
He just hates Star Wars now.
Clone Wars killed Star Wars for him is what the new story is. No, so we've recorded the final episode of season 1, where we literally dive into the conclusion of season 1. It's Clone Wars episode 10. I've never posted it. It's just been sitting there because I've been so busy, never edited it. So we'll have season 1 final episode, the lost episode will release, and then immediately the week after that we'll be diving straight into season 2 and getting into the world of Clone Wars.
Heck yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited to get back into it because, like I said, I've been itching, and I think I'm going to bring my daughter along on this journey with us and watch these with her because I really think she'd enjoy it. She's big into the story and movies and stuff like that, and I think she'd appreciate all this. So
yeah, and there's 7 seasons, so
we got time.
We got time, especially if these strikes continue to go on. So
yeah, which I've never wanted them to go on, but let's have that so we can catch up maybe a little bit here.
yeah. Don't bring out Andor season 2 until we're through Clone Cast. So I got some TikToks. That's our final thing for the week.
Yes.
Let's see. I've got
Load those
1,
up.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 7 TikToks. First one is I got some Ahsoka ones.
Okay.
This one diving into our buddy Thrawn.
He was the best guy around.
What about the people he murdered?
What murder?
What murders? Justify Thrawn, man.
It's kind of like people with Anakin, you know. What about all the little younglings he murdered? What?
Yeah. What murder? He didn't kill you. Even did that. You were like, he didn't kill it. He didn't kill the younglings.
I was just trying to throw, a wrench in the whole thing, but
True.
he definitely did.
Oh yeah. No coming back from that. Speaking of youngling, no, I'm just kidding. Not yet. This one I got a kick out of because we talked about it on Ahsoka that Ezra's been hanging out with these turtle people, and it reminded me so much of the scene from Frozen, and someone captured the exact moment, and I'm like, I wasn't going crazy. It's 100% a thing. So here it is.
Meet my family. Hey guys.
They're rocks.
Yeah. He's now Master Splinter.
Yeah. Yep. He's Master Splinter, bro.
That's all I see is a freaking image of, you saw like the live action Ninja Turtles, right?
Mm-hmm.
With Donatello.
Yeah.
That's what they look like to me. I know they're like hermit crabs or crabs, but that's what it looks like to me.
With Donatello? Are you just like the live action with Donatello? What do you mean
live action Ninja Turtles? Like Donatello, he has like glasses on.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. 100%. Yeah, you're talking about the turtles.
Yeah.
I thought for some reason I was thinking Splinter and Ezra being a bearded, and then you threw out Donatello, and I was like,
Ezra Splinter.
No. Yeah. And
with all the turtles are his people.
I'm with you.
Okay, there you go. It's late for you. I get it.
Yeah. We talk about going to Clone Wars. That's the next step for us, right? And
yes, sir.
This is my message to you.
Okay.
So I'll read this out to everybody real quick before we jump in. It goes, when someone asks, should I watch the Clone Wars?
Is it worth it? Oh yeah, it's worth it. If you're strong enough.
If you're strong enough?
If you're strong enough. It's an emotional journey, man.
Oh man, I'm pulling my heartstrings now, man. No, but that's what I'm saying. That's why I want to get into it, because I'm like, the whole scene with Obi-Wan, if you had never seen anything, it's hard to compare. It's hard to compare because it's like, I feel like that's kind of what this show is doing. Like, as awesome as a couple of the episodes I've seen, I'm like, I feel like this would be more impactful had I fully understood the story.
Mm-hmm.
Even the reunion, of them meeting up again, it was like, I feel like that would be a little bit more meaningful to me had I seen this.
Yeah.
Oops.
We should have just started the podcast like 2 years earlier. That's all it is. Yeah. Next up, I got a deleted scene from Revenge of the Sith. And I didn't even know this scene existed up until this week, so I'm interested to see if you knew this scene existed.
Kill that motherfucker! He killed all our friends!
I saw that this week. I laughed so hard. I don't know why I didn't remember that from the beginning, but I totally saw that one. I loved it. Friends.
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm saying. Samuel L. Jackson, man. You see that? You don't see Mace Windu. You see Samuel L. Jackson.
You see Samuel L. Jackson. 100%. Yeah. Next two are going to be Galaxy Edge Tik Toks.
Okay.
We're both clearly big friends of this Chopper being a menace. And I absolutely love it.
Yeah, well, look at yours. Look, you got...
Get him, Chopper! Get him, Chopper! No. Oh, that's true. He isn't in there. That's true.
Side-eye. All right, easy.
Side-eye? Yeah.
Side-eye.
After seeing that video, man, I'm like, you can't just restrict that to California. You have to put it in Florida.
That's so great, man. And that's what I'm excited to see too, is Chopper, like in the Rebel series, because I've already loved him so much in the live action, but I feel like he hasn't had enough screen time.
Mm-hmm.
He needs more.
100%. I was watching an interview with Gary Whitta, who wrote for some of the Clone Wars, and he's like, if you look at the first line that Chopper has in Rebels, it pretty much sounds like he's like, what the just drops an F-bomb.
Even there.
His first line, yeah.
Even there, it sounded like when he said something to Chopper, he was like, what the? That's what it sounded like he said. I was like, hey. Chopper's a real one.
Disney part. Yeah. Next up, this one really got me because 100% this is where I'm at as an adult going to Disney. Okay. So I'll read this one for the listeners at home. But it says, random woman, can you switch with my son so he can be the pilot and you can be the engineer on Smuggler's Ride, or the Smuggler's Ride?
How about no?
It's just me, a 35-year-old's been waiting for this his entire life.
Yep.
So we did that actually. When we went with my dad, I wanted him to be the pilot because I was like, he has to. Like, first time doing this, you have to be the pilot doing this. And so luckily for us, there was enough of us where we could allow him to do that. But when we went again, I don't think he was with us.
Oh.
No, he was. But he was nice enough because he got assigned the pilot, but there was a guy and his daughter that it was their first time. And so then I talked to my dad. I was like, hey, do you want to let him be pilot? And he was like, yeah, let's do it. He goes, we'll go on it again. I was like, okay. So we let them be pilots for the very first time them doing it, because it's just like that's just something everybody has to experience as a fan of Star Wars, is piloting the Millennium Falcon. Like, so great.
Dude, the moment at the end of the ride where you literally have to pull the hyperdrive and go is like, I felt like I was living my entire childhood, dude. It was so fantastic.
You say punch it. Just, man.
Yep. 100%, man. Yeah. We're going to have to take a Scruffy Nerf Herder trip to Galaxy's Edge.
Done.
And vlog it or do something.
Done.
Yeah.
Oh, it'd be so good. Do we build lightsabers?
Oh, yeah. We got to make more money off this show before we build lightsabers.
Yeah.
We'll start a GoFundMe starting today.
Scruffy Nerf Herders. Let's do it.
Yeah, get the Scruffy Nerf Herders to Disney.
Oh, man.
Yeah. All right. This next one, obviously, you can probably figure out. This is my Order 66 one of the week. And it's top tier, dude. Maybe the best one I have seen so far.
What?
So this one says, point of view, Anakin finding the younglings during Order 66.
No, nothing. He's just there slicing. Each one of those cans. Those poor younglings.
They should have somebody for homework, if you're listening to this, because I don't have time to do it. Take this video, and every time he crushes a can, splice the kid getting killed, like, oh, oh.
You are dark. You are dark, my friend. Oh, Bryant.
Yeah, that's something I'm actually learning. Is that
How dark
when we
you
talked
are?
about Kenobi, you were always kind of the Vader fan. And I've always kind of been the Kenobi fan, and I've always kind of like attracted to like the dark, or to the light side of the Force. But like, you just said you gave up a seat to be the pilot on the Millennium Falcon. Would not have done that. Order 66 jokes make me laugh, and yeah, maybe you're the Jedi and I'm the Sith. Maybe that's what we're learning this entire time.
You imagine?
Plot twist. M. Night Shyamalan right there.
Who saw that coming?
Not me.
You're the light, darkness, and I'm the light.
Yeah, and we balance each other. Oh, wait. Wait. We're gonna that's not a meet. No. Welcome to TanoCast.
Yeah, hey.
Let's start this
No,
over.
man, you make some good points there, though.
When I was at Disney last, I saw Mando and Grogu, and I took my daughter and I rushed to him, and everybody was just standing around. So I was like, okay, I'm going to be the one to step up and get a photo. And I stepped up, and at the same time, a little girl stepped up, and I was about to get ready for the photo, and I let her go. But the Disney employees stuck their hand out in front of me because they were like, sir, let's let the kid go. And I was just kind of like, I was very conflicted in that moment.
See, because they knew you. They could sense through the Force that you were going to push that little girl over.
Yep.
Hit her with your lightsaber.
I was about to order 66 that kid. That's a joke.
In your mind, you were like Palpatine, like
unlimited power. That is a Star
I didn't
Wars
get to
quote,
see.
right?
Yeah.
Unlimited power. Okay.
Unlimited power. Yeah. I didn't get to see Mando.
No?
We saw Boba Fett.
Oh.
It was Book of Boba Fett at the time we went.
If you squint, Mando is Boba.
Yeah, like really.
Or
hard.
if you're colorblind.
There you go. There it is.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, that's all I got this week, man. All TikToks.
It's a good one. It's good.
9
good lineup.
weeks in a row of Order 66 videos.
That Cotton Eye Joe was pretty good. That's just the
where did it
stomping.
come from? Yeah. So, yeah, man.
No.
Big week next week. Last episode of TanoCast, episode 10 of the Scruffy Nerf Herder Podcast.
Yeah. We're gonna be together next week, so maybe we might be able to do like an in-person recording.
I've got some ideas.
We'll see.
And we also are nearing 1,000 subscribers on TikTok, or followers on TikTok. So definitely head out over there.
Wow, freaking the love. Appreciate that, everybody.
Our fellow Scruffy Nerf Herders out there. The Nerf Herdettes and the Nerf Herders, right?
We got to come up with like a salute, like this.
Yeah, just pinch your nipples.
Yeah.
No. Or you just throw up the "Live Long and Prosper" every episode, like boom.
Nope.
Or we just do unlimited power, like
no. There it is.
Walk up to people and we just touch tips, and you just. Or remember how you used to make fun of me?
Tips.
Now when I would give you high fives, I would interlock my fingers.
The worst. This man gives high fives like this. You come up to him and he goes, and he grabs your hand and you're like, get off me.
So that's the Scruffy Nerf Herder salute. Now you walk up to us and we got to interlock, and then you got to make eye
scream
contact.
unlimited power.
Unlimited power.
Or Order 66, one of the two.
Execute Order 66. Yeah, that's what it is. You interlock fingers, look each other in the eye, and you
right
say,
in the eye.
Execute Order 66.
Let's do that. When you pick me up from the airport, let's do that. And our wives will be like, what the hell is happening?
Yeah. Hopefully there's no kids around. Because,
man. Yeah. That's true. Yeah.
Unless you are a kid and you're a fan of our podcast, which thanks for listening. You're safe.
Join in. We have another hand. We'll bring you right in.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? We do that and then a little kid walks up and our wife's like, whoa, what? Where'd this kid come from?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's awesome, dude. Oh yeah, so thank you guys for all your support out there, and it's been
Appreciate
super
it.
cool to see your guys' feedback and responses, and
And the comments, I love the comments.
Yeah, I joke all the time about how sometimes I make fun of the nerds in the comments, but I genuinely love seeing your guys' responses and keeping me honest and teaching me stuff, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, we don't claim to know everything, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We're just two guys. Two guys, just galaxy far, far away.
Yep, two guys exploring a galaxy far, far away. It is interesting. I posted a little poll. No, actually, we'll talk about that on the Ahsoka podcast.
Okay.
We'll talk about that next week, literally on the next episode.
This episode's never going to end.
No, yeah, we're at hour 16. So thank you guys for listening. If you made it to the deep end, you're awesome. And we will see you in the next video. May the Force be with you.
Always.